contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy tea time with Hebrew royalty. Tea Time with Hebrew Royalty features remedies for inner healing and outer beauty. Real-time conversations with sisters in the Hebrew Israelite community, focused on healing our spirit, mind, and body, which will contribute to the healing of our nation as a whole. Sip a cup of tea, wear your favorite turban, tee, or tunic, and enjoy tea time with Hebrew Royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, temperance, faith, and meekness too. Hebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit. She's got the fruits of the spirit, love, joy, and peace. She's got long suffering, gentleness, and goodness, temperance, faith, and meekness too. Hebrew royalty. She's got the fruits of the spirit.
Shalom, shalom, sisters. Shalom, Shebrews. Come on in. Come on in with your beautiful royal selves. Come on in. Who is here? Who is here so far? Please do me a favor. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already done so. Let others know that we are here. Sister Adriana, so good to see you. Shalom. Yes, let others know that we are live and we have a very, very, very important show tonight. Sister Ahab Karaj, shalom, shalom. The water for always being on time, for always showing up on time for me. The water. Come on in. Let's get this Hebrew royalty party started. Right? Let us do that. But before I go any further, let's start off by giving a big shout out, a praise to the Almighty. I am that I am, AHAYAH ASHAR AHAYAH, the God of the Hebrews and Shebrews, in the name of His Son, YASHAYA HaMashiach, whom the world calls Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, Rawach Qadash. Yes, welcome, and let's just give that shout out, that praise to the Almighty. I'm your hostess, Kwala Yakaka, and I humbly thank you for joining me on this broadcast tonight. It is so wonderful to be back another Sunday. So we just have to thank the Most High for sustaining us, bringing us through another week into a new week. Right? Isn't that just such a blessing? Such a blessing to be here in another week, right? So we can't take that lightly. I am so excited. And you know, this is one of the best ways that I can think of to start my week is to be with you all. So welcome back for another week. How was your week? How was your week? I pray that you had a restful but productive week. Those are good. We need to get rest, but we also need to be productive, don't we? So I pray that you all had a restful but productive week. And what about the Shabbat? How was your Shabbat? Right? We end the week with a bang, don't we? We end the week. Look at the Most High, right? We just end the week on such a high note, and that brings us into our new week on a high note. Yeah, so good. Yes, Sister Ahab Karat. Yes, you are so right. So good. It's so good. Yes. So I'm just elated to be here. Just happy to be here with you all today. But before moving forward in this discussion, let's get the disclaimers out of the way. And let me start by saying what Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty is not. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And that's okay. But if you happen upon this channel and you realize that you don't agree with our beliefs, our lifestyle, that's okay. Just keep searching YouTube until you find your perfect cup of tea. You owe that to yourself. And I'm sure that if you continue to search, you will find your perfect flavor. What I do ask is that you not leave any insults, any derogatory statements in the comment box, because that would be distasteful. So we really appreciate that, and we thank you in advance. Also, although I am a licensed physician assistant and certified functional nutrition informed professional, and I will be touching on topics of health and wellness on my broadcasts, such as tonight, we will not be utilizing this platform to diagnose or treat anyone's illnesses. If you are experiencing any medical problems whatsoever, please consult your healthcare practitioner. And the views that you will hear on this channel are the views of myself and my guest, and not those of any particular church or organization. So that being said, let me introduce you to my guardian doc, because as much as we don't like to, sometimes it is a necessity for us to seek out medical care. So I would like to share with you another option to keep in mind, myguardiandoc.com. Let's get this video up on the screen for you. And yeah, let's just take a look at this video.
Life can throw unexpected curveballs. When it comes to your family's health, you need someone in your corner. Introducing My Guardian Doc, your virtual medicine program provides compassionate medical guidance and world-class care around the clock. Within minutes, talk to a licensed physician. We are My Guardian Doc. All our doctors are guided by our Patient Safety and Care Equity Council, whose mission is to ensure you receive safe and equitable care. For just $27 per month, your entire household gains access to a team of dedicated medical professionals. Whether it's just sniffles or sneezes, medication refills, or a question about diagnosis or treatment, or the need to speak to a behavioral health specialist in the privacy of your home, no concern is too big or too small. My Guardian Doc is here to help you. No surprise fees, no hidden costs, just quality care when you need it most. With My Guardian Doc, for just $27 per month, your entire household's associated benefits include immediately lower micromort count, which is your 1 in a million chance of dying, on-demand access to doctors, reduce healthcare costs, improve healthcare outcomes, decreased visits to the hospital or emergency room, increase your lifespan, and gain peace of mind knowing your family's health is always protected. From urgent care, primary care, medical guidance, prescription discounts, hospital bill negotiation, and much more, My Guardian Doc is here for you every step of the way. Millions of people have expressed a need for My Guardian Doc. Join the fastest growing subscription service. Visit myguardiandoc.com to subscribe today, because your family's health deserves the best.
So yes, that's myguardiandoc.com. And to sign up for coverage, you can find the subscription link for Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty viewers in the description box just below this video. All right. So once again, if you haven't already done so, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I hope you're wearing your favorite turban, tea, tunic, or dress. And that being said, let's sip some tea and have healthy talk. Let's get this royal tea party started. So let's talk about ShebrewRoyalty.com. Tonight, let me get this website up here for you, because tonight we're going to do something different. We're going to do something different with this website. I talked about the teas. I have 3 blends that are done, ready to go, except the packaging. I have to get the packaging down because it has to look royal. It has to look royal and regal. So it's not on, they're not on the site yet, but coming soon. I'm serious, sisters. Coming really soon. So let me get the website up here, but we're going to talk about something else tonight on the website. I'm not going to go into the products tonight because you all have been to the website, I'm sure. Here we go, Shebrew Royalty, LLC. But tonight we are going to our partners link. This is where I'm taking you tonight, to our partners, to the link here, which says Travel Like Royalty, Westgate Travel Partners. So I am now a timeshare owner, right? And along with that, I have so many perks that I can pass on to my friends, my family members. You all can pass them on to others as well. So let's go into the Westgate Resorts website here. I just want to take you all on a little tour so you can see what our travel partners have to offer. This is Westgate Travel Partners. So here we go. So this site, you can, as you can see, you can go through ShebrewRoyalty.com to get to it, but I am also going to copy and paste this right in here for you all. Let's see. Are you able to see that page? Let me see if you're able to see that page. Let me know if it pops up for you all. I know on my end it's showing the page, but I don't know if it doesn't appear so. So let me get you to the correct page. Hold on just a second. Give me just a second. I want to get the correct page up here for you all. Give me just a second. This is the page that I am looking for. Here goes. You should be able to see the page that I'm talking about right now. And I also dropped the link in the comment box so you all can see this page. And this says Explore Vacation Freedom with Westgate Resorts. So sisters, before you take your next vacation, this is where you want to go. And If you cannot find anything on this website, which I can't imagine that, we have here our resorts. So here we have Westgate Branson Lake Resorts. Look at this. From $40 a night for a, might as well say 5-star resort. 4.5. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4.5-star resort. Then there's the Westgate Branson Woods Resort. 4 stars for $40 a night. Where can you find that? Westgate Cocoa Beach Resort. This one, okay, we're talking about Cocoa Beach, Florida, from $100 per night. But imagine what you're going to pay out there on the market. When you come to this site, I'm telling you, look at the cost here. River Terrace Resort and Convention Center, from $33 a night for 4 stars in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Westgate Smoky Mountain Resorts and Water Park, $45 a night. And we're talking amazing, amazing, beautiful resorts. So this is where I stayed in Orlando when we went for the Passover. This is where I stayed, at the Westgate Lakes Resort and Spa. Look at this. Tropical lakefront paradise in Orlando, Florida. Close to Disney World, SeaWorld, and Universal Studios. Then there's activities, events. I think they said that this resort was like 140 acres. My goodness, huge. So much to do on this resort. And we're talking about, what was it, $40 a night or something like that? So I'm telling you, sisters, before you take your next vacation, this is where you want to come. And then there's vacation specials here. Click on the link here. 3-day Orlando Resort Getaway from $79 for 3 days. Let's see, choose your destination from $99, 4 days, 3 nights. Bonus $100 Visa gift card. I mean, you can't beat this. Vacation in the Great Smoky Mountains. Disney, Orlando's couple vacation and romantic retreat from $199 per night. And this includes, let's see, spa appointment available, $100 resort credit, free parking at Westgate Resorts. I am so serious. You all have got to visit this site. Silver Dollar City, Branson Vacation, $199 for 2 nights. $99 Williamsburg Vacation includes Busch Garden tickets. Cocoa Beach Getaway, $149 for 2 nights. So I'm telling you, like I said, I dropped the link in the comment box, the chat box there. So please, sisters, take some time to check this website out. And like I mentioned, if you don't see anything on here that you like, please, please, please reach out to me before you book your next vacation, because there are just so many more perks that I have, so many other ways that I can get you a really good deal for your next vacation. So before you shop anywhere else, shop here and you get to travel like royalty. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you all on Shebrew Royalty tonight. I'm not going to go into the products tonight. Why? Because, oh my gosh, we've just got this show that I really am ready to just jump into. because it's so much information to put out here tonight, and it's such important, valuable information. So please, like I said, visit that website, and yeah, let me know what you all think. All right. So let's see who has joined. Sister Taylor, Shalom, sis. I hope you are all healthy today. That is so sweet. That is so sweet, Sister Taylor. Thank you so much. Yes, I am healthy. All praises to the Most High. Sister Adana, Shalom. Sister Zion, Shalom. Hello, hello. Sister Phyllis. Sister Johnny, Shalom. Yes. Sister Veronica, hello, hello. Sister Jean. All right. Yeah, so let's talk about tea. Let's talk tea. So sisters, what is your cup of tea tonight? What is your cup of tea? You know, I've got to ask. I'm nosy. I want to know. Plus I care, right? So my cup of tea tonight is holy basil, also known as Tulsi tea. And this is it. This is my holy basil tea, also known as Tulsi. And holy basil, this tea is so good. That's a really good name for this tea, holy basil. It is so good. It's so tasty. So let's take a look at this short video by Dr. Jessica Norton, naturopathic doctor. This video is holy basil or Tulsi tea benefits. Tulsi tea benefits. Let's see what this tea, what benefits we get from drinking this tea.
In today's quick video, let's talk about the adaptogen known as Tulsi or holy basil. Let's dive in. So this plant is native to India and is often used in Ayurvedic medicine. Typically, I see dosages of around 500 milligrams to 1200 milligrams for a period of about 30 days to 2 months or so. And this one is generally well tolerated. You can use this topically as well as orally. For this herb, there are a variety of parts that are used. You can use the leaf, you can use the stem, you can also use the oil. Of course, like most of the adaptogens that we've been talking about in this series, Tulsi or holy basil is anti-inflammatory as well as antioxidant. It's thought that its anti-inflammatory properties are coming from its ability to actually inhibit some of the COX pathways. So these are some common inflammatory pathways. And in that case, we've seen in some studies, even in animal models, that because of this pathway, it actually helps to reduce fever. And of course, in working as an antioxidant, it's helping to balance the effects of oxidative stress so that we don't get premature cellular death or tissue damage. It is, of course, used commonly for its calming or anti-stress type effects, and it is thought to help modulate cortisol levels. Because it also has been shown to alter neurotransmitter levels in the brain, it's also used sometimes as an anxiolytic, so to help with the feeling of anxiety. Now, how do I use this in daily practice? I actually don't use this herb that often, and that's only because I have not found a great formulation that I really love. However, I do recommend it quite often as a tea, just for almost anyone who's dealing with stress to drink throughout the day. It has a very calming effect. You're not going to get a caffeine rush, but it does have a very calming and relaxing effect, and it actually tastes pretty great as a tea as well. All right, I hope that this video was helpful. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you learned something. Let me know in the comments if you've used this herb, how you found it, and how you use it. And be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when I post a new video next week. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, this tea is very delicious, very tasty. Tasty. Yeah, I really like it. I really like it. As a matter of fact, it's in one of my blends, my tea blends. And I can't wait for you all to try my tea blends. But like I said, I want to make sure that when I present it, that it comes with the full the full package, the full package. So let's see. What have we here? Sister Johnny says she's drinking strawberry lemonade. I had that yesterday. Actually, I had the kiwi strawberry lemonade yesterday. And Sister Phyllis says, just drinking water today. That's a good thing. Yes, we need to stay hydrated with that water. Taylor says, not drinking any, though I was thinking about getting some today. Yes, get you a cup of tea. Get you a cup of tea and let's just sip tea and have this conversation. Once again, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't already done so. We are about to get started. And I ask every Sunday, please share these videos with your friends, your family, your co-workers, your loved ones. I don't have social media platform yet. I know I keep promising that I'm going to do it. It just hasn't happened yet. So at some point, I believe my Instagram page is going to be up. But in the meantime, please, sisters, share this channel, and whether it be by word of mouth, whether it be on your social media page, yeah, let's grow this channel. So, sisters, what did you think about last week's show, the Medicare 101 with Candy Vasquez? Talk to me. What did you all think about it? Wasn't it very informative? She is very, very knowledgeable. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity or the need to reach out to her yet to get more information, but please hold on to her information. You know, especially if you're close to 65, or if you know anyone that is almost turning 65, because I'm telling you, we need someone that knows the system to help us to navigate our way through a lot of these governmental policies and so on, right? So if we don't have a background in that, let us reach out to the experts that know how to navigate their way through that so that we can get the help that we need. All right. So if you need help with Medicare, please reach out to Candy, and I'm sure she'll take care of you. That being said, without further ado, it's showtime, and not at the Apollo, but right here on Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty. So the viewers who are just joining, welcome to Tea Time with Shebrew Royalty. The show where we explore the intersection of health, habits, and tonight, the digital world. I'm your hostess, Kwala Yakaka, and tonight's episode is one that every parent, educator, and gamer should hear. Our topic tonight, game on or game over. Understanding gaming addiction and its impact on the brain. This is a well-needed topic. We really need to delve into this. So as many of you may know, because I've mentioned this in many of my previous broadcasts, I am a retired physician assistant. I practiced as a physician assistant for 25 years. My last 8 years of practice, I actually specialized in chronic pain, addiction, and psychiatry. I was also the owner and operator of an opioid treatment center in Carmichael, California. So I found these three specialties, chronic pain, addiction, and psychiatry, but especially addiction, to be both challenging but also rewarding. To help patients to overcome their struggles to achieve and maintain sobriety, it was definitely a task. But when they succeeded, it really was beautiful to be a part of their journey and to help them to celebrate their success. But in most cases, that elation, that celebration didn't last for very long. It was a constant roller coaster ride for my patients, for their families, and even myself as their provider, because there are so many highs and lows when we are talking about addiction. So I've seen how addiction to alcohol and drugs, food, gambling, pornography, and other harmful habits can ruin lives, can take lives, can break up families, cause homelessness, health issues, etc., etc. And it's not a pretty sight. So tonight, we're not talking about those common addictions that we've all heard of for many, many years, I'm sure. Tonight, we're shining light on one that has just recently started getting noticed. So as a matter of fact, gaming addiction, referred to as internet gambling disorder, IGD, is a fairly newly diagnosed disorder. It was first included in the DSM-5, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the 5th edition, in 2013, but not as an official disorder. So here's a timeline. 2013, the DSM-5, the American Psychiatric Association, internet gaming disorder was added to section 3 of the DSM-5. This section includes conditions that require further research before being formally recognized as an official diagnosis. The APA, which is the American Psychiatric Association, outlined 9 proposed criteria for IGD, or internet gaming disorder, and encouraged more clinical studies to validate it. So that was in 2013. In 2018, the World Health Organization officially recognized gaming disorder in the International Classification of Diseases, the ICD-11. This gave it full status as a diagnosable mental health condition with defined diagnostic criteria. So in summary, the DSM-5 in 2013 internet gaming disorder was listed as a condition for further study, but not yet an official disorder. The ICD-11 in 2018 officially recognized gaming disorder, internet gaming disorder, by the World Health Organization. So I know that's a lot of acronyms and so on and so forth, but when we're dealing with the government, there's always a lot of acronyms, and especially in medicine, right? So let's talk about some statistics and some facts about gaming addiction. So according to Conifer Park Addiction Treatment Center in Glenville, New York, video games are a popular pastime, but they can also become an addiction. So here are some statistics and facts about the video game addiction. Number one, the average gamer spends 6.5 hours per week playing video games. Number two, 8.5% of gamers ages 8 through 18 are addicted to video games. Number three, 1 in 10 gamers play for more than 12 hours a day. Imagine that. More than 12 hours a day playing video games. Number four, 50% of gamers admit to being addicted to video games. Number five, 15% of gamers have skipped meals to play video games. Number six, 10% of gamers have missed work or school to play video games. Number seven, 25% of gamers have neglected personal hygiene to play video games. Number 8, 22% of gamers have lost sleep because of playing video games. Number 9, 5% of gamers have lost a significant other because of playing video games. And number 10, video game addiction is recognized as a mental health disorder by the World Health Organization, WHO. So those are some really compelling facts and statistics. So let's talk about the prevalence and the demographics. Video game addiction can affect individuals of all ages, from children to adults. However, adults are more likely to experience this condition compared to children and teenagers. Additionally, people who are not assigned, according to their statistic, they say people who are assigned male at birth, but males are more likely to have video game addiction than females, right? So males are more likely to have video game addiction than females. So understanding the definition and prevalence of video game addiction provides a foundation for recognizing the significance of this condition. By identifying the signs and symptoms, individuals and their loved ones can seek appropriate help and support to address the challenges associated with video game addiction. So again, according to Conifer Park Addiction Treatment Center, video game addiction can impact individuals of all ages. In the United States, nearly 9% of children and teenagers have a clinical addiction to video games, while 8.5% of American youth between the ages of 8 and 18 exhibit signs of addictive behavior in relation to video games. When considering gender differences, males are more likely to have video game addictions than females. However, it's important to note that video game addiction can affect individuals regardless of their gender. And we're seeing regardless of their age, right? Because adults and children and youth are affected by this condition. So tonight we are going to delve into 6 key elements of internet gaming disorder. First, we're going to talk about how gaming affects the brain, why games like Roblox are so addicting, the potential harm of Roblox, gaming addiction versus other addictions, how is internet gaming disorder diagnosed, and what can be done? What can be done about this problem? So many of us may know someone that is affected by this condition. And unfortunately, many of those affected are children and young adults. So if you know someone that you believe can benefit from this information, now is a good time to call or text them and get them to join in on this conversation. So at the end, you can decide, is it game on or game over? You be the judge. So let's go ahead and just jump in. So let's start off with how gaming affects the brain. So gaming can affect the human brain in both positive and negative ways, depending on the type, the duration, and the content of gameplay. So here's a breakdown of the key effects. The positive effects, number 1, improved cognitive skills. Action games and strategy games can enhance attention, visual processing, reaction time, and problem-solving abilities. Number 2, better hand-eye coordination. So fast-paced games improve coordination between visual input and motor responses. When you see gamers, they're like, I mean, it's like, how do they keep up with it? I don't know, but they really develop better hand-eye coordination skills. Number 3, memory and learning. Puzzle and role-playing games can help with working memory, spatial reasoning, and even language acquisition. Shalom, Sister Celeste. Shalom. And number 4, stress relief. Moderate gaming may reduce stress and improve mood through dopamine release and immersion. And we're going to talk about how that in itself is one of the gateways into the addiction, because a lot of people start off that way. Oh, I'm just doing this to release some stress, and before they know it, they're dealing with addiction. So here are some of the negative effects, how gaming can affect the brain negatively. Addiction and dopamine dysregulation. Excessive gaming can lead to behavioral addiction, which affects the reward pathways and self-control. Number 2, reduced social interaction. Overuse may contribute to social withdrawal. How many of you know people that once they start gaming, they just withdraw, and that's all that they want to do? They just want to be in a room with their game or with other gamers, and that's all that they want to do. So it may contribute to social withdrawal, especially in online gaming when it replaces real life interaction. Remember the days when we used to go outside and play with our friends? We're out, riding bikes, playing hopscotch, outdoor games, climbing trees, and so on. Now, most of the games that children play are all indoors and online. Number 3, sleep disruption. Late night gaming, especially on screens with blue light, can interfere with the circadian rhythms and sleep quality. Number 4, aggression. They become aggressive and controversial. Some studies suggest a potential link between violent video games and increased aggression, though findings are mixed and not conclusive. But I think that just goes without saying, right? If you're playing violent games for hours on end, then more than likely you're going to become and exhibit aggressive behaviors. So here's a dark side. Just like social media or junk food, games are often designed to keep you coming back. The brain gets hooked on dopamine, which is our feel-good chemical. When we win, when we level up or unlock rewards, over time the brain can crave more and more of that stimulus. So as a matter of fact, let's take a deeper look into how gaming changes the brain. So as of last night, I actually had no idea what tonight's show was going to be about. And it's so funny because one of the sisters yesterday asked me, she said, how do you come up with these topics? And we're talking, Sister Susan, and I was like, the Holy Spirit. That's all that I can say, because sometimes I just don't even know what my next show is going to be about until the night before the show or the day of the show. And so it was last night when I had 2 other topics, but I really wasn't feeling them. I really wasn't ready to just jump in and start doing research or anything like that. And I just said, okay, I'm going to go on the Epoch Times, which is one of my favorite publications for health-related articles. And I went on the Epoch Times on their Epoch Health page. And I found this article that I'm going to bring up right now. I found this article, and it was like, yes, this is most definitely the topic that I'm going to delve into tomorrow, just because it's such an important and timely topic. And so let me, I'm going to share this. I'm going to share the link to this article because I want you all to have this link. And I will be sharing other articles as well. Please feel free to share these articles with others that you know that really need this information, so that they can pass on this information, whether it's for themselves or a friend, a coworker that may be dealing with some of these issues that we're going to jump into tonight. So this article by the Epoch Times, let's see, I'll go ahead and bring it up on the screen as well. Let me bring it up on the screen here. Infographic, how gaming changes the brain. Let me pull it up on my screen here. Give me just a second. Yeah, it says here, gamers, oh, I went a little bit too far there. Gamers total 71% of the US population, and on average spend at least 1 month per year gambling. How does this affect emotions, cognition, and senses? And so as we can see here, we have the brain. And we're going to go into how gaming affects multiple areas of the brain. So let's go down a little bit further here. It says, as we go down, it goes into the different parts of the brain. And I'm not going to go into every area. And that's why I shared this article, so you can take some time to go through these different sections of the brain and the effects that gaming have on each section of the brain. Look at that. Look at how many areas. It's the entire brain that's affected by gaming. So I'm going to use the parietal lobe as an example here. It says the parietal lobe areas for sensory-motor integration, key in gaming, shows more connectivity while overall synchronization declines. So the effects: improved hand-eye coordination, but potentially dulled senses. So that's the effect on the parietal lobe. Let's go to the anterior cingulate cortex. Bring this down just a little bit. So the brain changes: reduced gray matter and altered activity in anterior cingulate cortex, key to decision making and motivation. What's the effects? Impaired long-term planning and increased impulsivity. So imagine that this area of the brain is constantly being bombarded with gaming, and you're wondering why the child, your spouse, is becoming more and more impulsive. and having problems with long-term planning. It's because the anterior cingulate cortex of the brain is being impacted. Let's go down to the medial frontal lobe. Medial frontal lobe, brain changes. Players of violent games had lower activation of the medial frontal lobe, an area responsible for emotional regulation. So imagine that area that is supposed to regulate your emotions is now being bombarded with violent games. So now the effect is desensitization to violence. You're becoming desensitized to violence. So that makes you more prone to becoming violent, right? And let's see, let's go to one other place here. Let me go to the amygdala. The amygdala, it says here, brain changes, altered amygdala volume and activity, which causes impaired emotional regulation and increased compulsion to play. So now that when the amygdala is being stimulated, what happens here is impaired emotional regulation. So the moods are all over the place. And that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing, where the gamers that are addicted become short-tempered, and now they have this compulsion to play. So what does that do? What happens when someone feels compelled to do something, and you're telling them you can't play the game right now, right? They're going to find other ways to get to the game because now it's really causing addiction behaviors and compulsion. So that is just one part, a few parts actually. And if you scroll down some more, you'll see other areas that we're talking about of the brain that's being affected. So please take some time and go over this article. Like I said, it's just so much. Let's see, let's talk about, I'm going to scroll down here where it says game design right here. So game design incorporates three major strategies to keep players hooked. So this is important to know. What are these strategies that the designer of these games incorporate into these games to keep players hooked? Number one is called game juice. So the color, touch, and sound effects that are designed. Let's see, I have a glare on my laptop here. Let me fix this. Give me just a second. That are designed to sync with the brain's inherent set of rules, give players a rewarding sense of control over in-game changes, tricking the brain into perceiving the game world as both real and charming. Isn't that something? So that's called game juice. And then the second strategy is called loot boxes. Loot boxes. These are randomized in-game rewards that players obtain after defeating a boss, leveling up, or exploring the game world. The unpredictable nature of the reward entices gamers to keep playing and reinforces compulsive behaviors. So that's the second strategy that is embedded into the games to keep gamers coming back. And then the last strategy here is called the flow state. And this game, the game's difficulty levels are controlled, calibrated to match players' skills, achieving a balance in which players experiences such focused concentration and ecstasy that time goes by quickly. In this state, brain regions such as the orthofrontal cortex, anterior cingulate cortex, and precuneus are deactivated. So parts of the brain are deactivated. And this causes the gamers to keep coming back. So that's called game juice, loot boxes, and flow states. So here are the references right here. And like I said, I've already put the link to this in the comment box there. Please go over this. Please share it with others. Yeah, there's a glare on my laptop screen there that is bothering me. So yeah, so that article was the article that actually got me to thinking that yes, this is so important, because a lot of us know someone. I've spoken to some individuals, and they've told me, yeah, this person in my family is dealing with this. And so a lot of us know people that are dealing with gaming addiction, but we don't know what is causing this. What is causing this? And just like any other addiction, right? A lot of times it starts out innocently, and before you know it, you're down in that rabbit hole and you don't know how to get out. So here are how different types of games affect the brain in distinct ways. So number one, action games such as shooters, fast-paced adventure games. Some of the effects is they improve visual attention and tracking. So players can learn to focus on multiple moving targets. They enhance decision-making speed. So now the gamers have fast reflexes and choices are rewarded. And boosting hand-eye coordination, especially helpful in developing motor control. But what are some of the possible downsides of the action games? They may increase impulsivity and desensitization to violence if heavily focused on combat. Number two, puzzle and strategy games. Some of these games are Tetris, Sudoku, Civilization. And what are the effects? These games strengthen problem solving and planning skills because players must think ahead and strategize. They enhance spatial awareness, especially in 3D or construction-based games. And they boost cognitive flexibility, which encourages adapting to new rules and patterns. What are some of the possible downsides of puzzle and strategy games? They can be overly time-consuming when trying to solve just one more challenge. So I know I've played some of those with Sudoku. I played a couple of times, like on the plane, and yeah, they they're so engaging. And before you know it, oh, let me just play one more. Let me just play one more game. So I can see how, and yeah, they're very time consuming. So before you know it, an hour has passed, 2 hours have passed, and you're playing a game. Number 3, role-playing games such as RPGs. I'm not familiar with that game. Zelda, Final Fantasy, and Skyrim. The effects of these role-playing games, they improve memory and narrative comprehension. Remembering quests, lore, and character arcs. They encourage empathy and perspective taken through character development and moral choices. They boost execution function, which is managing inventory, task, and long-term goals. But what are some of the possible downsides of these role-playing games? Risk of escapism or emotional over-identification with virtual characters. Because a lot of these games, you have your virtual characters, and before you know it, some people get so into these games that they really start mimicking these characters. And number 4, simulation and building games such as The Sims. Is The Sims still around? That was one of the games from so many years ago, one of the very first games that I remember, in internet-based games. The Sims, Minecraft, and SimCity. So I guess these games are still around. So they enhance creativity and systems thinking, and players design environments and test the mechanics. They improve planning and organization. So long-term project management is often required in these games. What are some of the possible sides of the simulation and building games? They can encourage perfectionism or lead to excessive time spent in creative loops. And for those of you that play these games, you may, because I don't play any of these games, so but for those of you that play these games, you may be able to identify what it's a lot of this is talking about, like the long-term project management is often required because you need to improve planning and organization in these building games. But it says some of the possible downsides is it encourages perfectionism or lead to excessive time spent in creative loops. So you're trying so hard to make these designs perfect that before you know it, there's just you're just doing things over and over and over again, trying to perfect the creativity of this game. And then there are educational games. These games support learning and retention, especially in language, math, and science when well designed. They engage through interactive feedback loops, making learning more dynamic. What are some of the possible downsides? It says if poorly designed, they can become boring and reduce motivation to learn. Sister Adina says, Sudoku is my favorite, but this game exercises the brain. Khan. Taylor said, I used to play them, but as time passes, I just stopped playing them. That's a good thing. Like Sister Adina says, Sudoku, yeah, some of these games are really good to exercise the brain, such as educational games. Like it says here, language. Some people use these games to learn new languages, and those are positive things, right? Those are positive. But sometimes even those games can be used as more like an introduction to gaming. And then once you've mastered that, then some people may want to move on to something more challenging or something more exciting. And then that's where the problem then comes in. So what kind of impact does gaming have on mental health? Excessive gaming have been associated with certain mental health conditions, such as depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, or ADHD. Individuals who struggle with video game addiction may experience mood swings. We talked about that earlier, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. They may also exhibit symptoms of withdrawals when unable to engage in gaming activities. So yeah, they go through withdrawals just like someone who's addicted to alcohol or someone who's addicted to even marijuana. Yes, there is such a thing as marijuana addiction. Yes, there is. And the withdrawals are intense as well. Heroin, people go through withdrawals. The physical withdrawal symptoms, of course, will not be the same, but the psychological and the behavioral symptoms are pretty intense with gaming addiction as well. So gaming addiction is linked to higher rates of anxiety, depression, ADHD, and other disorders, according to, and I have some links here as well. Let me drop these links in the comment box before I forget. Here, give me just a second. WebMD. It's an article from WebMD. And this one is Game Quitters. So if you know anyone that needs these resources, please pass on these resources, because this isn't, from what I've seen, there's not many people talking about this issue. So the immersive nature of video games, coupled with the constant stimulation and reward systems, can lead to a negative impact on mental well-being. It's important to recognize the signs of these mental health issues and seek appropriate support and treatment. So I just dropped those links in the comment box. Please share those with anyone that you think may need those resources. Now let's talk about this game in particular, Roblox. This game is very popular, and from what I understand, with both children and adults. I personally don't know much about it other than what I've heard and read, because I'm not a gamer. But this game is not only popular, but also infamous, right? Due to multiple lawsuits that have been filed against the company on behalf of children that were allegedly harmed by predators, explicit content, and exploitation on the digital platform. This platform also has a reputation for being highly addicting. So there's a link here that, let's see. I'm going to share. This is another link that I'm going to share, but I'm going to pull this. I'm actually going to pull this up on the screen so you can see this. This is Roblox lawsuits attorneys. And this is pertaining to one of the lawsuits that against Roblox. So let me share the screen here. Yes. Roblox. How many of you knew about this lawsuit? How many knew about this lawsuit? Talk to me. Has anyone out there heard about this lawsuit? Against Roblox. Sister Taylor says, not me for sure. So it says here, nationwide Roblox litigation lawyers fighting for families harmed by the platform. So this article says Roblox, an online gaming platform that supposedly fosters creativity and connection among children and teens, harbors a darker underbelly that has harmed countless young users for years. Families nationwide are coming forward with stories of how predators, explicit content, and exploitation pervade the digital playground. The attorneys at Anapol Weiss have filed 3 lawsuits against Roblox on behalf of children, one in New Jersey, one in Florida, and one in Texas, who were sexually exploited on the Roblox platform. Anapol Weiss is investigating hundreds of similar cases and will be filing many more lawsuits in the upcoming months. So that's important to know, right? So I'm not going to, well, let me read just a little bit further down here. The New Jersey boy. Let's see what this is about. Lawsuits filed against Roblox on behalf of kids. The New Jersey boy. In February 2025, Anapol Weiss filed a lawsuit seeking to hold Roblox and the communications platform Discord directly accountable for child sexual exploitation that occurs on these platforms. In the case Doe versus Roblox Corp. Discord, Inc., a 13-year-old boy was contacted by a serial predator who had already been charged with sexually exploiting another child and coerced into sharing sexually explicit content, giving the man his address and agreeing to meet in person, which fortunately did not ultimately happen. This legal action follows a 2023 class action lawsuit filed by Walsh on behalf of parents who brought Roblox's in-game currency, Robux, for their children based on misrepresentation about platform safety. And then there's a case of the Florida girl. And I'm not going to go into all of the cases here, but please take some time to explore this article. So let's see how Roblox put children at risk. For years, Roblox allowed harmful behaviors to proliferate on its platform. Recent safety updates introduced in November 2024 came only after years of heroin incidents and public outcry. While these changes mark progress, they are woefully insufficient and leave a haunting question: how many young lives were irreparably damaged while Roblox delayed action? So what are some of the hidden dangers of Roblox? Here are some of the hidden dangers. Roblox's expansive and unsupervised ecosystem created an environment where predators and harmful content thrived and continue to thrive. Key risk includes exploitation by predators, grooming, coercion, and exploitation occurred through in-game chats and private messages, inappropriate user-generated content, violent and sexually explicit games disguised as safe entertainment, expose children to harmful material. Number 3, financial exploitation. Children were pressured into spending real money on virtual items, sometimes leading to unauthorized transactions. So this is what this lawsuit is based on here. The human toll of Roblox's negligence. Let's talk about that. The consequences of Roblox's lax safety measures have devastating families recount stories of emotional and psychological harm, anxiety, depression, and trauma stemming from predatory interactions and exposure to explicit content, exploitation and grooming, predators using the platform to lure children into private communication channels, sometimes leading to real-world danger. How many of you knew that this was going on with this game? Financial strain. Families burdened by unauthorized in-game spending driven by manipulative monetization tactics. The Hindenburg report revealed chilling examples of these harms, painting a grim picture of a platform that allowed exploitation to thrive under the guise of creative play. So it goes into why Roblox must be held accountable. My question is, why is Roblox still thriving? Why has this not been taken down? Why hasn't this company been forced to dissolve? Why? So it says here, contact Anna Paul Weiss, Roblox lawsuit attorneys for a free consultation. So this is really important, that if you know anyone that has a family member or they themselves have been harmed by this. This is specifically Roblox that this lawsuit is against, not any of the other gaming platforms out there. This is specifically Roblox. But if you know anyone that has been harmed through this company, here's some information on steps that you can take. This is, Sister Johnny says, I have not. Sister Adina says, exactly. Yeah, this is insanity. This is insanity. I don't know if after the lawsuits are over, if they're found, guilty, if at that point they will be forced to take the platform down. I don't have a clue, but spread the word so that anyone that you know that's using Roblox should get off of that game ASAP. ASAP. Especially we're talking about children and even young adults. Get away, as far away from Roblox as you can. That's not a good platform. Okay? So, why is Roblox so addicting? Well, number one, Roblox has an infinite variety of games. Roblox is a platform with millions of games called experiences. Sister Adana, it's Roblox, Roblox. That's how it's spelled, and it's a gaming platform. It's a game, and I'm going to talk about why it's so addicting, because it's a platform with millions of games called experiences created by users. So there's always something new to try, reducing boredom and increasing engagement. So there's just so many quote unquote experiences that in itself should raise some red flags, right? Because if there's millions of experiences on this gaming platform, what kind of experiences are we talking about? So Taylor says Roblox is a social platform that children play. Not just children, Taylor, but adults as well. And that's where the problem comes in, because a lot of children believe that they are interacting with other children on this platform when they're actually interacting with adult predators. Yeah. Sister Adana says, I think my granddaughter plays this game and she is addicted. Khan, yes. Yeah, the game is very, very addicting. So, and it says here why. So the first reason why it's so addicting is the infinite variety of games. And if it says these experiences are created by the users, so anyone can come on there and create an experience. And so where are the checks and balances? Who's monitoring to see what these experiences are that children are now engaging in? It says there's always something new to try, reducing boredom and increasing engagement. Number 2 is reward loops and in-game currency, which is called Robux, Robux. Many games use frequent rewards, upgrades, or achievements to trigger dopamine responses, which is that feel-good response. Spending Robux on exclusive content taps into real world value systems and compulsion loops. So imagine if you're on this game, playing this game and spending this money to get rewards and so on and so forth. This can now lead to gambling addiction. Next thing you know, you're going to casinos, and this online gaming addiction now progresses to where now you're going to casinos and you're blowing all of your money there. So this is something to take very seriously. So there's also the social features and peer influence that contributes to the addiction. Friends can join games together, chat, and build virtual identities. The fear of missing out, FOMO, is strong, especially when peers are also playing or sharing updates. So imagine your child has a friend that's on there and they're playing all the time, and your child now feels like, well, I don't want to miss out. So because their friend is on there, now that peer influence, that peer pressure causes them to now become addicted as well. Then there's avatar customization and status. Kids get emotionally invested in customizing their avatars and collecting virtual items, status symbols that tie into their identity and social comparison. And then it says here, there's a lack of natural stopping points. Many games are open-ended or include countdowns that encourage just one more gameplay, making it hard to disengage. So just when you think that you're getting to the end of the game, before you know it, you're being told, oh, just one more level, one more game, one more level. And you go, okay, just one more level. And that keeps going and going to where you never get to the last level. And before you know it, you're there for hours. You haven't eaten, you haven't showered, you're just in this dark room, you and the game, and this constant loop. Not sleeping, not eating, not taking care of hygiene. And these are red flags. These are red flags to know if someone is dealing with addiction. So there's addictive behavior, and here are some of the potential harms of Roblox, especially for children. Here are some of the potential harms. Addictive behavior and screen dependency. Constant play can lead to reduced focus, irritability when not playing, and disrupted sleep or school performance. A lot of these children that are addicted are doing poorly in school. They're not performing well in school. Exposure to inappropriate content is another potential harm, as we just heard of in that lawsuit. Despite parental controls, children can still encounter inappropriate language, role play scenarios, or games not suited for their age. And imagine what these role play scenarios are if we're dealing with predators on this platform, right? Sister Adana says, well, that explains the body odor. Wow, sis. So this is hidden close to home, for real. So online predators and grooming risk. Chat features can be exploited by adults posing as children. Roblox has had past issues, and I'm sure they're still having issues. We're not going to say past, with grooming attempts and inappropriate avatars in public games. So even the avatars are inappropriate. The avatars that they're using on this platform are inappropriate for children. There's peer pressure and social comparison. Children may feel pressured to spend money on Robux, to fit in or upgrade avatars, creating a toxic cycle of comparison and spending. Wow. Keeping up with the Joneses. That hasn't gone out of style, right? Keeping up with the Joneses, even in this day and age on the internet, in games that children play. Then there's financial manipulation. Some games are designed to entice children into spending real money without understanding the value of purchases. So imagine, your child is now using this platform and your credit card is linked to this, and your child is using your credit card or your debit card, whatever, to purchase stuff on this platform, and you have no idea until your bank account, this is being drained, only to find out that your money is going to Roblox in Robux. Wow. Disrupted sleep and mood. Late night play and screen exposure can affect circadian rhythms and mood, potentially leading to anxiety or depression. So some of you may be thinking, gaming addiction, is it really as serious as drugs or gambling? Surprisingly, yes. Yes. While it doesn't involve chemicals like alcohol, Gaming addiction lights up the same reward pathways in the brain as gambling or drug use. And you'll see the same patterns. You'll see the same patterns in gaming addiction as you do in alcohol addiction, gambling, heroin addiction, because you'll have cravings, withdrawals, neglect of responsibility, and even relapse after trying to quit. So imagine that. The same symptoms as you will see with heroin addiction, you'll see in gaming addiction. Sister Adana says, while some parents and grandparents are funding children's college accounts, others are funding gaming addiction. Sad. Yes, sad but true. And they don't even realize it. So yes, cravings, withdrawals, neglect of responsibilities, and even relapse after trying to quit. The difference? Gaming is widely accessible and socially acceptable, especially among the youth, making it even harder to spot. How many young people do you see with their phones, and they're just going at it and nobody bats an eye? You don't bat an eye. They're just walking around or sitting in a corner somewhere, sitting at the dining table, going at it on their phones. These should really cause an alarm system to go off in your head. What is so important on that phone that you can't put it down to eat dinner and have conversation with real people? So while gaming addiction may not destroy the body like drug addiction, it can be equally destructive emotionally, socially, and psychologically, especially in children and teens. It's most comparable to gambling addiction due to similar brain patterns involving compulsion, reward seeking, and loss of control. You know, I had a patient a few years ago that had a gambling addiction, and he flew from one end of the United States all the way to California. Well, he stopped in Las Vegas. Let me just put it that way. He ended up seeing me in California, but he stopped in Las Vegas. And when he stopped in Las Vegas, he was, if I'm not mistaken, he stopped at the airport. Yes, it was the airport in Las Vegas. And we know the airport in Las Vegas has, they have the slot machines and all of that there. And I don't know if he ended up going to a hotel from there, but when he saw me, when he ended up seeing me in California, what he described was he was playing the slots for over a month continuously. He drained his bank account. He tapped into his 401k, drained that with his gambling addiction. By the time he got to me in California, don't know how he ended up getting there, but he got to me in California. What he described was he had lost everything. He now could not go back home where his home was at because he was so embarrassed. He lost his job. He said he was behind that slot machine for way over a month. I don't remember the exact time frame. He didn't shower. He didn't want to eat. And he said at some point someone should have recognized that he was addicted, that he could not control himself. He wasn't bathing, he wasn't eating, or, eating minimally. But the long and short of it was, this man really needed help. And no one was batting an eye. No one batted an eye. But he did mention that now that he had heard that the people at the casino really failed him, because they should have recognized it. They're trained to recognize when someone is dealing with an addiction, and they're supposed to stop them. But no one stopped him. He lost everything. So that being said, we're talking about gaming addiction, but this addiction can, like I mentioned earlier, I can see this leading to a gambling addiction, especially since, like it says here, the similar brain patterns, which involves compulsion, reward seeking, and loss of control. So how is internet gaming disorder diagnosed? So to be diagnosed, to actually get a mental health diagnosis, a person typically must exhibit at least 5 out of 9 symptoms within a 12-month period. So there are 9 symptoms, and in order to get the diagnosis of internet gaming disorder, you have to exhibit 5 of these 9 symptoms. So number 1 is preoccupation with gaming. Number 2, withdrawal symptoms when not gaming, such as irritability and anxiety. Number 3, tolerance, needing more time to feel satisfied. It's like a drug. Most people start off with a little bit of heroin, and then they get that high, especially the first time, that first high, and then they start chasing that high, which they will never achieve again. And they keep chasing it, but now it's taking more and more and more of that drug to achieve the level of high that the last level that they had. So now you're becoming more tolerant to the drug. And it's the same thing with internet gaming disorder. It used to be where you could play for 30 minutes and you were good. And now you're realizing that even after 3 hours, you're still not satisfied. Number 4, failed attempts to control or stop gaming. So you're trying to control it and you can't stop. You can't control it. Number 5, loss of interest in other hobbies or activities. Number 6, continued excessive use despite negative consequences. So, parents will ground the children, punish the children, and in spite of that, these children will find a way somehow to game. Deception of family and friends and therapists about their gaming time. So they're telling you, oh no, I only played like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, when it was actually 3 hours. Gaming to escape or relieve negative moods. So instead of dealing with emotions naturally, talking things out, they go and they find the game and they start playing a game so they don't have to think about whatever it is that is bothering them. And then number 9, jeopardizing opportunities such as education, relationships, jobs. Imagine losing your job because you don't want to leave the house because you're on the internet gaming. Imagine not spending time with your spouse because you're in another room gaming. So these you end up jeopardizing opportunities and relationships. So the World Health Organization criteria for gaming disorder is more general in the definition. So their definition is impaired control over gaming, priority given to gaming over other life's interest, and continuation or escalation despite negative outcomes. So that being said, what can be done? What can we do to help those that are addicted, or if we recognize that we're having issues with it? There's good news. Gaming addiction is treatable. So some of the common approaches include, number one, cognitive behavior therapy, which is the most common and effective treatment, and it helps individuals to recognize their triggers, challenge distorted thinking, and build healthier habits. And so getting with a therapist is the way that you will be able to get cognitive behavioral therapy, is through getting with a therapist that does cognitive CBT. Family therapy. This is especially helpful for children and teens. It helps to rebuild communication and set boundaries around screen time. Number three, digital detox and screen time management. So these are structured plans to gradually reduce gaming times using tools like parental controls or digital well-being apps. Number four, support groups and peer counseling programs like Game Quitters, and I put the link to Game Quitters in the comment box, or Restart offer community-based recovery. And these are modeled after the 12-step programs like those used for alcohol or gambling. Also, prevention strategies. Man, my mother used to say all the time, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So before we get to the point of addiction, how about prevention strategies? Setting screen time limits early and sticking to them. It's one thing to set the limits, but you have to actually stick to it. No matter how many tantrums are thrown, stick to those limits. Encouraging a balance of physical activity, offline hobbies, and social interaction. Get these children to engage in real time with real people, real friends, without the digital devices, without the internet. Go back to the old-fashioned reading books, actually reading a book rather than reading online, because that's another gateway. Sister Adana says, so it's best to reduce their time and not necessarily take it away completely. You may want to start gradually reducing the time, because it's like anything, going cold turkey. And that may work for some children, right? You have to know the child. Cold turkey may work, but for some other children, if you go cold turkey on them, they may just rebel in a very negative way. So it's really case by case basis, Sister Adana. Some children you may be able to get away with it cold turkey, and others it may be a real struggle. So for someone like that, you may want to just start gradually decreasing the time, and then when you get to a certain point, then you take it away. Encouraging like I said, encouraging a balance of physical activity, offline hobbies, and social interaction. Educating children about healthy online behavior and digital wellness. So having these conversations early on, if you buy a laptop, a tablet, a phone, sitting down with the child when they first get this, whatever source it is, whether it's a laptop, a phone, a tablet, and setting the rules, the boundaries before the addiction happens. Because it's really hard once they start a certain way to now backtrack, right? So be in front of it. So is gaming all bad? Well, absolutely not. But like anything powerful, it needs boundaries. So setting those boundaries, when done mindfully, gaming can be enriching and in some instances can be helpful. But when left unchecked, it can become a serious, serious health issue. So you be the judge. Is it game on or game over? What do you think? What are your views? So let's see, did I share? I'm going to share one last link here. It's for Conifer Park. This is an addiction treatment center, and they have a lot of really good information here. This looks like it's a pretty long link. This is an addiction treatment center in New York, but they have a lot of really good information. This is a great resource for anyone that you know that may need this information. So any questions, sisters? I know it was a lot. It was a lot of information. What do you all have to say about this? Sister Adonai, you've been pretty interactive, but I want to know some of the other sisters out there. Do you have any input on this? Do you know anyone that may be struggling with this, that you think that this information is going to help? Taylor says it's crazy. Yeah, it's really a lot. It really is a lot. But this is the world that we live in right now, right? This is the world that we live in. And I really believe that this situation got really bad during COVID, during the lockdowns. I really believe that was the catalyst, that was the trigger point, I should say, when this started becoming an issue. Taylor says, I think it's going to help a lot of people, but not anyone I know of. Awesome. The water, Taylor. Sister Phyllis said, I shared it with my daughter and will forward it to my son. All praises. The water, Sister Phyllis, the water. Yeah, but I really think that a lot of these issues got worse during COVID. Yeah. And so now we're dealing with the aftermath of that, right? But once again, prayer, that should be the number one thing. Praying for your loved ones, anyone that you know that is struggling in this way. And then, whatever way that you can help. But having these resources is so important. And now you know the signs to look for, and the red flags. All right. All praises. So sisters, that is it for tonight. I hope that you found this information useful. So if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who needs this message, who needs this information. Let's grow this channel so that this information can reach Hebrews throughout the four corners of the earth, and even those that are not Hebrews but are willing to be a part of our community. Sister Phyllis says, my grandson is beginning playing, so definitely feel this will help my daughter get a handle on it. Yes, she can get in front of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And sit down with him with this information so he can now be aware. He can now be aware, not caught off guard. Taylor, shalom. Shalom, Sister Taylor. Yes, we are to let our light shine so that others can be led to the source of the light, because we know we are not the source, right? We're just a vessel that the source uses. So continue to be that vessel and shine in that light, all right? Yes, so I love you all so very much, and I appreciate you taking time out of your very busy schedules to have tea and conversation with me. The water. Sister Taylor Ayandabar, you are so welcome. You're so welcome. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for your support, sisters. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying for us. So until the Most High brings us back together, may you prosper and be in excellent health. And remember, true healing begins inwardly before it is expressed outwardly. So sisters, love you all much. I'm your hostess, Kwala Yakaka, a voice of reasoning and justice. Have a blessed night, a restful night, an amazing, blessed week. And if it's the Most High's will, I will see you next Sunday, same tea time, same tea channel. Love you all much. Ahabatha, shalom. Shalom, family.